Alrighty, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Araya SimSpeedShop Cup Series. We're live here at Daytona Beach, Florida for race number 7 for the Beachin 145. I'm Ernest Levy, your lead announcer. Joining me in the booth, as always, is Ken Kushwa and executive producer Harold Darner. How's it going, guys?
All good. What's going on, everybody? Road course. I've never called one. I was telling you this earlier, so this ought to be interesting.
They turn left and they turn right.
That might be what throws me off tonight. So.
I'll say, Harold, you had a good view of road course racing last night in the Lodgebox Series. You and Eric Wineland. Pretty sure that was a little bit of a controversial one.
Well, it was when a new league forms, there's so many things, different pieces that got to happen, and testings happen, and then there's a computer involved. I don't know if you've had any problem with the computer. You know, you're one of the younger generation guys, so you probably never had problem with your computer, right?
Yeah. And it seemed like never.
But I mean, so we had computer glitches last night, couple human errors, but nothing major to the point that we couldn't finish. So we had to red flag the event and finish the second half in a new lobby. But all the drivers did come back that were in the race at the time of the caution, and they put everybody back in the order. If you weren't here, we actually did the old way. They actually rolled off under green flag conditions, and basically race control put everybody in the right spots. And then basically coming out of the NASCAR chicane, they told the race leader that he was able to go. And then once he took off, we threw the green flag. So not a bit, interesting, but that's what makes things different. It's not NASCAR. iRacing doesn't have all the NASCAR rules built into it. So like stages and all these other things that NASCAR uses are not in iRacing. iRacing still works off of an older system. And matter of fact, road courses, because of the problems that the road courses had, they turned the yellow flags off. As we know in ARIA, we have the iRacing flags only, which basically means the computer throws the cautions. We have told them, we don't care, don't throw nothing. So they're not going to throw anything. And as you said earlier before the broadcast, at lap 20, we will have a competition caution, or basically a mid-race break, and then everybody can use the pit stop or not, because it's not a mandatory pit stop.
It isn't a mandatory pit stop, so it could see some strategy calls here with like 3 or 5 laps before the competition caution comes out. We'll see guys who are running towards the back of the pack pit, get some track positions, stay out under that caution, and then cycle up front, and then who knows what will happen in the last 20 laps or so. All right, so we have about 6 minutes, a little over 6 minutes left before qualifying kicks off. In case any of you are just tuning in for the first time, you missed one hell of a race last week at Nashville Super Speedway, and we got a little bit of a clip for you just to show you what you missed out on. Pace car pulls into pit road, the hard left turn, the front row being led by David Weishart in the 3, and we are taking the green flag here in Nashville.
He just jumps away, doesn't he?
Whoa.
Is that a large?
We got bits.
You got
No,
big
no.
pencils.
No, our very own Jacob Bell just donated 3 bits to the channel.
Oh, beautiful. I don't know what that means, but you guys can tell me later.
He's taking David Weishart, so he sent 3 bits for the number 3. Here's a great shot of the cars going down.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we come into the tricky part, huh?
Oh, we got a spin!
21.
The 21 of Delonte Ballard spinning into the wall. Caution's going to come out on lap 5. Let's take a look here and see what happened. Got Ballard on the outside.
Door.
And then to the inside. Thomas just nicks him.
Door. Boom. That hurts.
Just backed it into the wall. Unfortunate for Delonte Ballard.
You see Danny Ware coming into the picture as well in the 18 car. There he goes to the outside. Defend the bottom. Let him do it the hard way.
Weishart on the outside, looking like he'll clear Slaughter for the lead, and he will. So put the 3 of David Weishart back in front.
You can offset that, or actually take that red tape and move it over to the left
Spin
instead
on
of
the
the right.
backside.
Oh, we got a wreck. It's the 5 of Garrett Grant. I was looking there in the back. That battle was going on for quite a bit of laps between Garrett Grant and Tyler Hallman. That'll bring out our second caution of the night. Let's take a look at our one-to-go replay. Actually, that was Davey Hendricks, excuse me, not Tyler Hallman. They made contact there coming out of 2, and Hendricks just hooks him. Spinning down the backstretch goes the 5, makes a little bit of contact with the wall. Driver's doing a good job of avoiding the 5 sitting on the top side of the track. He took tires, and that is why he's all the way up into 4th now. We'll try to get the 4th spot from Eric Weiland. Caution's out on the track. Caution has come out there as we focus on Kyle Knapp, another one of the Infinite drivers. So you got to take a look at our one-to-go replay to see what caused the caution. So riding here, that's the 18 of Danny Ware. So let's take a look here. They're going into turn 3. Oh, and a big send there from Thomas. Tried to hang on to it, just couldn't quite do it. Oh, nearly got into the 54. Nearly gets hit there on the backside.
That is some
amazing.
That's some pretty good handling in that car, the way it was sideways.
Yeah.
I'll give it
No
to
doubt.
him there. That was some good driving there by Mr. Ware. One's got sunglasses.
There you go. That's right. One's got sunglasses.
Oh, we got a wreck in the back. Got cars sideways there in turn one. Don't see the caution coming out. That was amazing. I swear I saw someone spinning out there in turn one. It looks like everything's still straight. And one of the cars I saw being Tyler Hallman in the 52. As you'll see here, coming into turn one, the 12 comes down on Hallman. Wow.
How about that?
Amazing how that wasn't a caution. I mean, that was just amazing there. They come across the line here. 1 lap to go, presented by One to Go Studios. David Weishart's led the most laps all night, but all that matters is the lead in that last one.
He's got plenty of space and plenty of gap to do exactly that. There's not going to be that last second shot here.
They go down the backstretch and into 3 and 4 for the final time. Cameron Hearn trying to run the wall. He might have a shot here as they come off turn 4. It's not going to be enough. David Weishart's going to come through and win at Nashville.
Somebody learned a little something on Tuesday night, that's for sure. He did anything and everything.
At one point, it seemed like Hearn was going to edge ahead of Weishart there in the middle of 3 and 4, but it wasn't enough. David Weishart pulls through. He leads the most laps, and he gets the job done here tonight. That was what you missed last week, or actually 2 weeks ago, because we had off for Thanksgiving last week. So this was 2 weeks ago, in which David Weishart found a way to prevail the dive bomb from Cameron Hearn, sorry.
Woo, look at the Skittles go cutting the grass. Whee!
Somebody's mowing grass every week. I don't think he had control of that car from the minute it left the track.
That was Davey. And as we talked about that, somebody owes me a gobbler.
I don't know if
Here we go.
I don't know if I owe anyone a gobbler.
Oh my word!
Somebody told me he worked at Wawa, and that's the first thing I thought of. Man, ooh, I get free gobblers. Where you work at?
But
yeah, for admitting that.
yeah, I guess so. Anyways, that highlight video was from 2 weeks ago, in which David Weishart prevailed and Cameron Hearn tried the Kyle Larson move on the outside. It looked like it was going to work, but it didn't work out in the end. And David Weishart looking to go 2 in a row here. He's second on our practice charts, but we have less than a minute left. And right now, the first driver up is Nate Trito. He hasn't been in a Cup car in a good bit. He hasn't been in a race since Dover, in which he qualified second, but finished 17th. He also ran in the race at Las Vegas and had a top 10 there, finishing 7th. Could we see Nate Trito win today? Because this is a race where we're going to see drivers who are road course ringers and those that just don't have the skill capable of it.
Well, looking at the number 77,
is he a ringer?
He told me no.
Okay.
He's like me. I fake it until I make it, kind of thing. And he says so he'll be a back marker tonight. But Jake Bell out here in the number 77.
Well, I like guys that can fake it until they make it. Listen, with only 14 cars, dude, all you got to do is just try to stay on the lead lap to the very end, and then chase down whatever you can at that point.
Yeah, it could be good for some of these guys that really need the points. Matter of fact,
that would be my strategy.
We could check that out as they're getting ready to start qualifying.
There you go.
Yep, there's your playoff picture right now as we're through week number 6. So there are drivers you see on the left side of the screen. Drivers are locked in green. Yellow are currently in, but not locked in officially. And then those in red are on the outside looking in. And one of those being Jacob Bell. He wasn't able to race last week. He was in a different continent, and he therefore lost points. And I lost a good bit of points. And he's on the outside looking in along with Ryan Honeycutt, Tyler Hallman, and then the number 40, well, not the number 43. 43 points out is Mr. McClendon, Scott McClendon, who just joined this session.
I was going to say who is now in the session, so let's see if he can make a little way towards the north. I don't know if Jacob Bell's not always on another continent, even though he's with us. I don't know. You just, we'll have to see tonight, won't we? I can't wait to see how he drives on a road course.
We will indeed have to see. And at the top of there, on the round of 12, the top of there, you see it's Eric Weiland. He's got the most wins so far. He had back-to-back wins, those being at Auto Club. The more notable one is it came down to the wire, spinning and schwinning, if you will. Then Davey Hendricks, who won the Araya 500 at Daytona. Then there you see next would be David Weishart, who won last week at Nashville. And if we cut away from the playoff picture here, you will see that we are riding on board with David Weishart. Got the in-car cam once again.
Fabulous Samson Motorsport flag behind him. He heads on down into the bus stop. I don't see any buses there, so, hopefully there's no children crossing or anything like that.
They call it a bus stop, but they don't stop.
No,
They keep on going. Now this is a different style for a road course, because typically on the ovals we don't have any corner nicknames other than Pocono being with what turn 4, because there's only 3 turns, but got a good bit of nicknames here for some of the corners here.
Can we say them over the air kind of nicknames?
Sure. Yes.
I can only say the ones that I've printed out here. We're going to go through a lap.
Infield
in car
entry.
with David Weishart. Yep, this is infield. The infield entry as they go through the first turn there. Then we have turn number 2, no nickname there. And then here we have turn 3, the International Horseshoe. No one knows why it's called International Horseshoe other than it looks like a horseshoe. And the International part, don't know where that came in. And then right up here, we're going to make our way through turn 4. Now, some call it the dog leg. I'm going to call it the kink. It's just that little left-hand turn there. That could be a difficult part for some drivers tonight. And then we slow down getting into turn 5, the Western Horseshoe, because it's on the west side of the racetrack.
West side.
And you work your way through here, and we're going to be exiting the infield. So this is turn 6, out infield. Then we make our transition up onto the banking, where we go through NASCAR turn 1, in which this will be turn 7 of the road course layout. And we're currently working our way through NASCAR 2. Then down this long backstretch here, driving by the billboards, and then you start to slow down here where we get into the bus stop. Bus stop or chicane. I like to call it bus stop. Now we're exiting the bus stop, then we're moving back on to the turns here. NASCAR turn 3. Then you're going to start to see the car move up closer towards the wall as we get to NASCAR turn 4, and then they start to slow down for the NASCAR chicane, the chicane that is only for the NASCAR layout that they ran in 2020 and earlier this year. Then you make your way out of there, and then onto the trioval front stretch, and you can use the apron. And that is a lap around the Daytona road course, and you just saw David Weishart jump it to number 1 on the board.
That was a good riding along with him, too. That gave us a good idea or a good perspective of what really goes on inside that car through this course.
Should point out that the same rules apply. It's still a 10-minute session, 2 laps, 2 very long laps. As you saw, his pole time was a 1:53.819. So you don't want to take too much time getting onto the track. That's why you see some drivers heading out early, because that out lap could be almost 2 minutes.
The other issue is we talk about scrutiny of qualifying. Every other week, Hunter usually say, they touch the wall, lead the track, or anything at all, and their lap is negated. Well, because it's a road course, they have loosened the qualifying up, so they can get an incident point and still get the lap to count. In NASCAR, will fine them or penalize them a speed or a time if they don't give back, if they're deemed to cut the course, like cutting one of the chicanes or leaving the track in an area they call cutting. They'll tell you they have to slow down to give that time back, and it shows up in the driver's face. It sucks. I've had it happen.
I'm sure we'll see a couple of those at some point tonight. You see on the left-hand side, the top 10 lap times up there. Number 1 still being David Weishart.
Is there a chance they'll spread themselves out tonight, Harold?
Oh, it'll definitely be. The idea that I've always been told in iRacing road courses is pay attention to the track, race the track, let people race around you. You really don't want to be around people, unlike an oval where you're always trying to get around people and stay around people to stay up on the course. On a road course, if you're around others, it affects you getting into your apexes, your braking zones, and forces you to drive a different line that'll slow you way down. So these guys will want to spread themselves out. So you'll see a lot of guys giving up position just to get away from somebody else. They're almost like, come on, I'll get you later, kind of thing.
Right now on your screen, you're seeing the 18 of Danny Ware going around.
Yeah, so as I said before, this is the first time I've called a road course or even tried to pay attention. So if I go quiet for a while, it's not because I don't know what to say. It's because I'm really actually being a race fan and watching this. So
Eli Green in the admin tower, so he will be keeping his eyes open for restart violations, pretty much, and he'll be the one throwing that competition caution at lap 20.
Yeah, no Ryan Swan in tonight. Had a prior commitment to make. So Eli Green from the Swift Lifestyle Pro Series coming down, or going up, excuse me, into the admin slot tonight. So you see Danny Ware puts the 18 car P10, pushes Jacob Bell down to P12 amongst those that have put down a lap time.
David Weishart in a half a second faster than Cameron Hearn.
yeah, it's just looking at over there at that.
You know, we only got 2 minutes left, but an interesting note here is, there we go, we're just about to talk about it. Nate Trito had the fastest lap in practice, and he's yet to put down a qualifying time. So, waiting to the very end. Not sure if this is his out lap or if this is coming to green. It looks like it's his coming to green lap. Actually, his first lap, excuse me.
Right to the
Yeah,
top.
there you go. Right to the top.
Right
Nate
to the
Trito
top.
puts the number one in the number one spot. That's going to be a 1:53.085. That's almost a second faster than David Weishart's lap.
I'd stop driving like he's doing. That'd be it. You throw it down like that, just walk away. You know, it's one of those crazy things. But man, that's fast.
That is indeed fast. Also, we have about a minute left, so even if he were to continue, his lap would not count unless he were to cut the course, which that would count, but not really.
Exactly.
Well said, Hunter. Thank you. If I was confused, I am now, and that's okay.
The completion of the lap would count, but considering it an accurate lap time, that would not count. So we got about 45 seconds left, and on the left side of your screen there, that is basically what you'll see for the starting order for tonight's Beach in 145. Now, this is interesting because this is our first road course race of the season. I thought it was our only road course race, but Harold knocked some sense into me. I looked at our schedule. We still got Watkins Glen, the last road course on the schedule. That's not until race number 11. And I should point out that a week from today, it will be Darlington, and we'll have our Southern 500, in which we will be, and this is all week, by the way, this is not just Thursday. You, the fans, will be voting for which throwback paint scheme you like the most, and winners will receive a cash prize for not only their paint scheme, but for winning the race and finishing second, third, fourth, fifth. And the big cash prize will be awarded Thursday for the SimSpeedShop Cup Series Southern 500.
Yeah, they all week long throwback week at Darlington. Everybody's got something to show off. We got something coming up for for how you guys view the races. So, and then keep an eye on that our Twitch TV channel throughout the day and our Facebook, because that will be where you can vote on to getting the drivers into the Final Four, right? Final Four is what we correct, Hunter?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
So you see the plane,
the Delta
flying
Airlines.
through the back stretch. Yeah.
Somebody's
Make
late.
sure to follow us on Twitter also at Area iRacing. Plenty of updates will be posted throughout those social media pages as we look at our lineup for the Beecham 145. On the pole, it'll be the number 1 of Nate Trito, and alongside him is last week's winner, David Weishart.
Row number 2 has Mr. Cameron Hearn in the 15 and Garrett Grant in the 5.
Row number 3, we'll find the 52 of Tyler Hallman, and alongside him is Brad Slaughter in the 81.
Row 4 has Hendricks in the 54 and Eric Wineland in the 12.
Row 5, we'll find the 29 of Scott McClendon and the 23 of Garrett Heath.
Danny Ware in the 18 on the inside, and Mr. Patterson in the 91 on the outside.
And in the last row, our very own Jacob Bell in the 77, and alongside him, Christian DeBoer in the 56. DeBoer did not put up a lap time. And that is your 14-car field for tonight's Beecham 145. Guys, who you got winning tonight?
That's an interesting question for me, and I am just going to go on a limb here because I have no idea how this is going to play out. I'm going to say Cameron Hearn. Wow, what a crazy hard choice that was, but I'm going to go with Cameron Hearn. Somehow I think he'll get it done.
I'm gonna take Samson Motorsports David Weishart to make it 2 in a row.
All right, I like it.
I believe in the commentator's curse.
Oh, stop it! Stop it! Come on!
I'm too superstitious. Pace car pulls in the pit road, and Nate Trito will lead them to the green flag here. 40 laps at the Daytona Road Course underway.
All right, all our people on Twitch say boo to our primary voice, Hunter Sleppy, for not wanting to play. Boo to you, sir.
I'm superstitious with my Steelers, and I'm superstitious with my fellow drivers.
Gosh, you're
Now they
killing it.
slowly work their way through turn 1 and 2. They go down into the International Horseshoe. Cameron Hearn in second, taking the spot away from David Weishart.
I'm shocked. I just Hunter's not.
Hunter
That's a
Hunter
tough
not
one
want to
pull
play.
right there, Hunter. You know,
You could have went with Trito.
right? You said he was the fast one out there.
You know, he's de factoed. He's with the number
That's
1.
it. You are now de facto to Trito. That's right. And if something goes wrong,
It's
the
still
crew's
your fault. That's right.
That's exactly right. So take that one, Hunter.
Exactly. As we're coming out of the infield, number 1 leading away up onto turn number 3 for the NASCAR, or actually turns 1 and 2. See, I'm all off today. Woo! See, it was a long night last night. Like 11 o'clock before we got done.
It was a long night Tuesday night too. We got done at 11 o'clock. So, and that wasn't even a road course.
And well, last night there were quite a bit of drivers in the hauler, and looking to avoid that tonight. So we're getting down into the bus stop. Nate Trito still leading the way. Yeah, can only hope. Nate Trito still leading the way as they come out the bus stop into NASCAR turn 3. Cameron Hearn getting closer to that bumper of the 1.
Yeah, and I thought Dave Weishart was coming up onto that group too, but it looks like he went into that a little harder than he meant to on the bus stop. So let's see if he can regain some ground up on the this part here.
Well, last week we saw David Weishart leading on lap 1 at Nashville, and then very quickly Cameron Hearn passed him, and Weishart didn't put up a fight. He's like, okay, I'm just going to lay back here and see how my car handles in traffic. And lo and behold, later on, he would end up winning the race, and Cameron Hearn would throw his car against the wall trying to pass him.
That's he.
Could be an early strategy play.
You know,
There's no wall tonight, though.
some of these guys have near, over 5,000 I rating for the ovals, and Nate Trito is the highest with a 2.1 for the road racing, which basically means I need to get my wheel out and get back up in here.
Hey, knock yourself out. I don't mind. I'll be more than happy to call you crashing out on the course.
Come on now. I've got to win at the 24-hour Daytona, mister.
Well, how many people fell out during the 24 hours?
Oh, that's not even fair.
Trito still leading the way. This top 3 has pulled away quite a bit from the 4th place driver, Garrett Grant. It's about a 3-second gap between him and teammate David Weishart.
So since I don't know a lot about this, let me ask a couple questions. Are there zones where they like to pass more than others? Do they gain more? Is it better to do it since they know the big turns and they know the straightaways? do they do it there, or is something like this? Is this a good passing zone?
You do not pass in the bus stop or the NASCAR chicane.
Oh,
Now, coming out, like Cameron's attempting to do here, that is a good spot. Because now Cameron's in the best spot going into the chicane. Since he's on the outside, he's going to pinch the one low, which is going to force him to slow down way more than he wants to going into the NASCAR chicanes. Let's keep an eye on this.
Yep, side by side here, and you see the one getting forced on the outside,
Ooh,
close to making contact with Cameron Hearn.
Nice
He
move.
pulls through,
Good move.
and he keeps the lead. Now Hearn's under battle with Weishart, who's inside there for the second spot. But you saw there, Ken, the one of Nate Trito as they were exiting the backstretch chicane. Got a little bit of air there, and it slowed his car down quite a bit, and that was a perfect time to pass for Cameron Hearn. But it didn't work out, and instead it turned into him losing a spot to David Weishart.
And that really demonstrated exactly what I was asking. So that was pretty cool that it happened at that time. You're exactly right. I appreciated that. That was a lot more.
It's like the drivers
it.
actually heard you or something. I don't understand.
I don't think it's that, but I'll take it if you think it's that powerful. Yeah.
I don't know. They're like, oh, hey, he's talking about us. So here we go.
These three, I think, are just going to be the class tonight. I mean, unless something works out by pit strategy. I mean, these three guys seem to be getting around it quite well. Some of the other guys, well, not so much, but they're there.
Big thing, you're going to have guys that are better on the oval side and guys that are better on the infield. So it's wherever you're better, you're going to want to be putting pressure on the guy in front of you. And then from there, let him make a mistake and capitalize is what basically Cameron did when Trito hopped the curb coming out of the bus stop.
Yep, and you're riding on board here with Weishart as he makes his way into the backstretch bus stop. Trying to catch the one of Nate Trito, who continues to lead. Was under battle there for a moment from Cameron Hearn, but prevailed, and he's keeping the lead so far. We're going to see what the three of David Weishart's got for the one of Nate Trito.
So Harold put up that little map for me that actually has the numbers moving around. It's actually pretty cool. Garrett Grant's kind of separated himself from Brad Slaughter in the 81. But you see, it's really fun to watch how quickly that group closes back in on each other as they come into the chicane and into the bus stop areas. It's pretty neat to watch them do that as they come around. Long line, pretty stretched out after the 5 of Garrett Grant.
Yeah, but you saw there as they were going through turn 1, or the infield entry, the one had a completely different line going through the corner than David Weishart and Cameron Hearn. They both kind of took a wider approach, as the one of Trito took a more inwards approach.
Yeah, I mean, now would be the time to try things out, wouldn't it? So that for later in the race.
Yeah, it could very well. It'll say you put yourself in the position where, okay, I know my car can handle here, then you do, and it could end up getting you the win.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
So I'm looking back on our track map. No one's gone off course or is far behind yet.
No, all the numbers still seem to be on the black part of the track going around, so I like that. Harold, thanks for throwing that up for me tonight. Weishart's pretty smooth ever since he got around Cameron Hearn. I've noticed that. There's not a lot of difference or change of how he goes into a turn or how he comes out of a turn. He seems to be running the same line consistently.
But that one of Trito is running a line somewhat better. And there you see on the bottom right, that is our track map, just to give you an idea of where the cars are.
AKA Ken's cheat map,
Well,
so he knows where people are.
The big bubble is the car that we're focused on, so it kind of helps people out. So, it helps you guys out. So I'll let our people see it too. So.
Hey, by the way, I wanted to. AJ's watching us from his bed. Dude, get better, and I hope it's soon. Take care of yourself, man. Hope to see you back here behind the wheel soon.
Oh, we got a little bit of an incident
slow.
here.
Yeah.
It's a 52 of Tyler Hallman, and it looks like the 12 of Eric Wineland slow also. Not sure if we can get a replay maybe to see what happened. Maybe a little bit of what's the word I'm trying to think of? A little bit too much on the brakes. Yeah.
Replay is fine. Yeah.
Here's our one to go replay. This is
Oh.
the back part of it.
Back them car. There you go. Back them things up in reverse. Here we go. Oh, he got a little air like our leader did there, but he got a little more squirrely on that one than leader did.
Yeah, so Tyler Holman there not having a good approach at the NASCAR chicane on the front stretch, as there we got a battle now. This is for the top 5 spot between, actually, excuse me, 6th. Believe that 18 was Scott McClendon for a moment as he gets a little tap there from Garrett Heath. Heath sideways, now getting passed by Holman on the outside, who's just murdered a cone.
Killed a cone. They've killed the cone.
They killed Kenny.
I don't think they got him. Yeah, as you watch the track on that screen there, you see that Garrett Grant has kind of distanced himself a little bit. AJ said the cone did nothing wrong.
Brad Slaughter. Sorry, Brad Slaughter just got a little tap from behind by Garrett Heath, and it sent him into the grass. Everyone keeping it straight, and there you see the 15 of Cameron Hearn cutting one of the chicanes.
That will be a penalty. You'll have to give that back.
Well, how does he give that back? I mean, he didn't gain anything on anybody, right?
Yeah, but NASCAR not NASCAR, iRacing has now put a thing in front of his face that says you must slow down for 2.2 seconds or something like that, and it'll go down to 0, and he can resume. Otherwise, they'll black flag him, he'll lose a lap.
Oh.
So so it would definitely you have to give it back.
So he will have to do a pass through, I'm assuming, this time.
No. He does that on the track. He basically hits the brake and slows down and kind of is off pace for like for like 2 seconds or whatever.
Yeah. Now you see it gaining. You see those guys pulling away. So.
Yeah, it's like it's an on track penalty. Like you gotta come out of the gas, and it necessitates that way. Yeah, a drive-through penalty would be the end of your night for the most part.
Even on I guess even on a road course, huh?
Even on a road course. Well, he may, but if he's got to drive through, it won't be too bad. But we have that 20 laps. We're gonna reset the field.
20 lap, right.
But it'll hurt for darn sure.
So if you're watching the map, you got Garrett Grant there in the 5, who's coming closer little by little, and of course that didn't hurt. That didn't hurt him gaining on Hearn. Then you have McClendon there in the 29's, kind of separated himself from the pack, and then here we have the group that was battling earlier and focused on there the 52 of Tyler Hallman, but. Interesting how quickly, and I asked the question, I guess, earlier, how quickly they would spread out the class of the field, of course, the front 3 at this point, but you never know. At lap 20 and they come and pit, if anybody stays out or something, there's strategy play.
Yep.
Well, nearly calamity there for Brad Slaughter as he almost got into the wall, and not a good approach once more by the 52 of Hallman, but he didn't go over one of the little turtles over there.
I'm not sure why you call them turtles, because they do a lot more damage than a turtle would.
Yeah, I bet they do.
I've seen a turtle get hit down on Route 1 in the beach area in Delaware, and those cars don't get air like these guys do on these things. These are more like the Hunchback of Notre Dame you're running over. And he ain't happy.
So we're focusing on this group of 3 here. This is 7th, 8th, and 9th on the racetrack.
This has been the most excitement, pretty much.
Back
in there. That's beautiful.
Now that's Brad Slaughter there, slinging it sideways, exiting the Western Horseshoe.
He's trying his drifting techniques, which that was beautiful. You'd get some points for that one. So I assume we're finishing under the lights as well tonight, correct?
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
And we changed the track map up a little bit so we can see through it now.
I like it. Hopefully everybody else is. I don't know how many people are watching us right now. I don't know. You know,
Eh.
13 viewers. Well, hopefully the
Almost
13 viewers.
one for every driver.
I like it. Yeah, I'm actually one of them. So you know.
Yeah, All right.
Gary Heath's on the pit road. I'm looking at. Not sure
I think he
what
clocked
the
out.
issue is with the 13.
He is disconnected. He's
Disconnected,
I'm
yeah.
done.
Yeah,
Well, now
you
we
definitely
have
got some of those. Definitely got some of those drivers that not really a big fan of the road courses. And others that are a big fan. One of those being Nate Trito. He's led every single lap so far.
And he's running still some impressive times versus everybody else.
Absolutely. He's still running lap times that are around 1 minute 56 seconds. Driver behind him, David Weishart, 157.9. Some drivers have already run over the 2 minute lap mark.
Yep. Our boy Tyler Hallman, who has demonstrated how not to drive over the turtles on multiple occasions so far this evening, has done it. Jacob Bell out there for the troops, you know, taking this one for the team and the whole league. That's beautiful. Blair Patterson. Isn't he driving the Skittles car this evening? Who's
No,
driving
Davey
the Skittles
Hendricks
car?
is.
Hendricks, yeah, Hendricks.
Hendricks.
I got it.
I got you, man. I got you.
Man.
See, there's
Meanwhile,
the turtles
Hunter's
right there. You
going,
see
"When
like
am
a
I
turtle
gonna talk?"
shells. You see how they're kind of like, like a turtle shell.
Dude, I'm going back to what I said. I've seen turtles get run over, and they don't cause people.
They don't cause people to go flying in the air.
Here comes some Skittles. Spread them all over the place. That was a nice, smooth move there. He looked good. I guess if you're running 2 minute laps, you can do that. I don't know.
Mr. Wineland coming through here. It's a good shot. Whoa, look at that.
Whoa.
Big
Look at
Danny
that.
Ware gets some
Kicked his rear
air.
end. Yeah, that turtle got ticked off.
Mr. Jake Bell coming through here.
Yeah, well, he did it.
Playing it safe.
Playing it safe. That's right. Meanwhile, out in front, 84 miles away.
Well, I started a little bit squirrely coming off of turn number 1 as he enters the infield portion of this track.
So that battle for a second looked like it's starting to heat up again. As Hearn has caught up more to the bumper of David Weishart in the 3. The gap was about 3 seconds at one point. Now it's just a little over a second. Weishart clipping some of the grass a little bit. Don't want to do that. Then your car turns into ice, and then it
like that.
It will get
like,
you. Yeah.
Like Cameron just showed you. Man, these guys are doing such a great job. I think it's like they're listening to us or something. You're like, here, I'll show you how that goes.
Well, they're not running for Hunter. You were mentioning their times are almost identical at this point. So, yeah, you could. Cameron's finally, as you said, reeled in back from the penalty. So.
Yep. And as the lap times are winding down, I should also point out that our fuel window here, coming close on our fuel window. It's only, 14 to 15 laps of fuel here.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So we're approaching that portion of the race where we're going to see some green flag pit stops, and all depends on when you make your pit stop.
See, I think these guys, I think that competition caution, you might see guys come down for tires, but a lot of these guys are going to break this up, and they're going to go 14-14, and that's it. So 14-28, and then finish the race up.
Yep, drivers still have 3 sets of tires, but with only 1 caution coming out, could very well see only 2 sets being used.
Unless they feel there's going to be some kind of...
And one of those are being used right now by David Weishart.
Coming in at 10, so maybe he's thinking 10, 20, and 30, and 40. Maybe.
I would hope he doesn't pit on lap 40, because that would be the white flag lap.
I'd like to see that, actually. That would be interesting.
So David Weishart's the first one to come on the pit road. And, yep, teammate of Weishart, Garrett Grant's on pit road. So teammates coming down, Samson teammates, and they're just a pit box away from each other.
Mr. Wineland has come on to the pits as well, I see, along with Tyler Hallman. Yep. Tyler's going to have to scrape a few turtle shells out from underneath his car, but he'll be fine.
David Weishart's pit stop was 14 seconds. Garrett Grant's a little bit longer, 14.4. So you see Weishart re-entering the racetrack in the middle of Danny Ware and Christian DeBoer, so he'll be slotted in 7th for the moment.
Now we'll see these guys just blow by the ones with old tires.
Oh yeah, there is a clear difference in newer and older tires.
But you need to be patient.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you end up getting himself into trouble by trying to clear these guys too quickly. As you saw him a little bit sideways coming onto the track there off the King. Ooh, the 54 said, I want the inside.
Wow.
There's a little wheel spin there from the 3 of Weishart, trying to get momentum down on the bottom. Underneath the 54 of Davey Hendricks, and he'll complete the pass here for the 5th spot.
Now,
So Nate Trito is going through. Oh, go on.
No, I was going to say that's a good demonstration of he was in there for 14 seconds, comes out and still in 5th place. So a lot of time to go in and do what you got to do and come back out and still be in pretty good shape.
2nd place car, Cameron Hearn pitting. Was just going to say that the leaders are coming by once more. Was just going to see if anyone was going to pit, and Cameron Hearn, one of those drivers to pit. Now this will be interesting because he will definitely lose a spot here to David Weishart, but he'll have a lap or so fresher tires and maybe a better car than David Weishart if he keeps running over the turtles at this rate.
So that's really what David Weishart's plan was. Kill the springs now, lap 20, get new springs, everything's fine.
Okay, that's it. Okay, got it.
That's what it is. Yeah, clearly.
I think David is going to break this up in the quarters, so every 10 laps, which is not a bad thing. You don't have to worry about much, with that.
There's a slow of drivers pitting now. Danny Ware, Christian DeBoer, and Jacob Bell on the pit road. There at the bottom of the leaderboard, you see Garrett Heath officially out of tonight's Beechin 145. So hopefully we don't see any of these cars beached.
Not so far we haven't. We have seen the death of a cone, though.
Yep.
So
that was very unfortunate.
The Glen's got all the sand. There's not that much sand here at Daytona, though.
No, the Daytona Beach.
Yeah, but you talk about the Glen, like the second to last turd has the beach right behind it.
Right.
Everybody knows about the beach in Watkins Glen. Because you end up going through the kitty litter and throw it everywhere.
Well,
I consider that gravel.
Yeah, the beach, man. It's the beach.
Well, nobody's sitting out there with an umbrella and a drink, so I don't know about that.
It could be. It's just upstate New York, kind of cold right about now.
Well, yeah.
Nate Trito looking like he's going to come on the pit road this time, and he will.
Everybody
got a hefty lead to work with.
Doing that 3, or at least 2. 11 laps. He's coming on lap 12. So nobody went the full 14 to 15 at this point, right?
I don't think there's really an advantage to go all the way.
I don't think so either, as you can see the tires, the way they work out.
Weishart might pick up the lead here from Trito.
He's definitely going to pick up the lead. Question is, how long will he keep the lead?
But that was short pitting there helps him out, and he'll come out about a couple seconds ahead of Trito, as Trito has to keep that thing. That pit exit here is
wow.
Tough.
It is very treacherous.
They're
also on the left side. You see Scott McClendon, Davey Hendricks coming in. Cameron Hearn is on pit road also.
He just can't. Yeah, he went back in again.
Yep. Maybe he's
not sure what is going on there. It might be a penalty.
I don't see him stopping in his box just yet. There he is. He just stopped in his box. Could be serving a penalty. Who knows? We might check out later.
He's at 8 seconds. 11, 14.
There might be some damage on that car.
17.
Oh, yeah, wow. Look at that. That's why.
There's
That's why.
There's quite a bit of damage on that number
missing
15.
on the 15. He left something out on the racetrack.
Yeah, we'll try and get a replay for you guys so you can see what happened. But definitely a major concern there for the 15 of Cameron Hearn. His Here's our one to go replay to show you what exactly happened. This is him getting on the pit road.
See if I can
Not sure
get
what
it better
caused
than
him to get on the pit road.
Maybe a deer ran across and we didn't see that. It's been known to happen at racetracks.
I think an alligator would be a little more believable.
Oh, well, that's true. Or those vicious turtles have been grabbing people too. Looks like
So
he's
there he
coming from a
is
wall
coming
zone.
onto pit road.
Yeah.
See if I can get us going a little bit quicker here, and then we'll get back to the action. I'm kind of curious. I wonder if he hit the wall. Maybe he did hit the pig exit, maybe.
I don't know.
Because he's clean right here.
He hammers it coming out, as anybody else would.
Gonna guess that maybe it had something to do with the Western Horseshoe. I'm just going off here, or it
You're
could be the backstretch
spitballing.
chicane. Yeah, I'm spitballing at
here.
this point.
That's right.
Oh, here he comes to the Western.
Those are the only places I can think of that would be trouble spots.
He did that
And the
one.
bus
Handled
stop,
that one
too.
fairly well.
See if I can keep working here and see if we can find it. But that's not what I wanted to
Nope.
do.
The 15 car still sitting on pit road. David Weishart's still your leader.
Oh, there it is.
Whoa!
All right. So
Quite a bit of an issue here for Cameron Hearn. So he
the
comes into
chicane.
the NASCAR chicane.
Oh!
Wow! Oh my
Holy.
goodness!
The turtles
Hearn.
revolted.
Cameron
How was
Hearn
he-
going upside down at the Daytona road course. Normally we would see that from the oval because
Yeah.
they're fast enough to do blowovers. He just ran over that turtle and he went barrel rolling.
I think you might have been right that time, Hunter. That could have been an alligator he hit.
Alligator.
I don't think a turtle's going to make him roll like that.
I don't think a deer's going to make you roll like that either.
No, I don't think so. I think an alligator. We're going to go with alligator. And if this was Tuesday night, guess who would have been getting a visit from the hairy one?
Well, that was of his own making. Can we give the Sasquatch Award for a driver who did it to himself?
Well, considering how much less excitement there's probably going to be the rest of the night, yeah, you'd have to give it to somebody. He would have to be the one. But
Speaking of the one of Nate Trito has caught up with our leader of David Weishart. He's got fresher tires than Weishart, the difference being about 2 laps or so. But those are very crucial 2 laps as, well, I was looking through the lap times and Nate Trito's is glitched for me, so I can't exactly tell what lap time he ran, but I would assume it's quicker than the Blue Weishart.
About a second and a half quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's flying.
Just refreshed it. Weishart ran a 155.8, Trito a 154.4. So this is the battle for the lead
Hey,
here.
he's pushing on the rear deck
Yeah, he
of the
is.
3. He's like, I'm here, dude. Right here.
But see, this is going to demonstrate again. Where is he going to pass him? Where's the best place for
Right
him?
here.
So I like
Gonna
the
get
fact. There he goes. Going to get him.
Oh,
on
Weishart's just
inside.
going to let him go by.
Yep. Smart move by David Weishart because he's off pit cycling here with him with the Trito.
Speaking of off cycle, Brad Slaughter has yet to make a pit stop.
I just noticed that myself. But he's in the window. I mean, 14 to 15, we set for fuel. So
He's definitely in the window. And I had
definitely
talked
there.
about this in the pre-race. We could see some drivers stretch it up to that lap 14 or lap 15 mark and
How
try
does
to
it
get some track
benefit him?
position. Could stay out, take the lead some laps, and then when he pits earlier than the rest of the field, and then hopefully just try to, I don't know, stay in front of them from that point on.
I mean, Blair Patterson's sitting at 13 right now. So 2 guys trying to get as much as they can out of their car. You would have to assume he's not going to go much longer.
Keep an eye on here and see if he's going to go in this time by.
So if he dives in this time,
Better not dive in like Cameron Hearn.
that's true.
Otherwise, that's going to be a torn up race car.
I'm pretty sure the alligator probably moved after that one. Nope, he's still
Oh,
out
he's
there.
So he's going to go
One
one
more.
more lap around. We saw Jacob Bell try to do a fuel strategy run at Dover, similar to this, in which you just stay out as long as you can, and that's basically what Brad Slaughter's doing. So he'll be on 15 laps now, and the fuel run is 14 to 15, although there are some parts of the track where you can save fuel.
Well, again, he and Blair Patterson are both the only two that have not pit as of yet. So I don't know the strategy for Patterson. I kind of get Slaughter a little more, especially since he's holding on to fourth. But Patterson is holding on to beating Jake Bell right now, and you know, he's got a good lead over Jake. We could say that.
Cameron Hearn, or not Cameron Hearn, just said, got hit by a snapping turtle. Injuries are severe.
See?
Question is, are they severe to the turtle or to the car?
Yeah. Or to the
Yes.
driver.
Well, yeah, that's a sad thing.
And Cameron actually, you can let me know, so we know he's watching now. If he's still in VR, I wonder how that was. I mean,
Tell
I
us,
mean, did you
vomit
lose
after
your
the
lunch?
roll?
I mean,
Exactly.
that might have been very. Last night we actually had Shane Wolf showing us his VR headset, so we were seeing the bobbing and all while he was driving. That's what he was showing us last night. It was kind of neat to see that perspective.
That's pretty cool.
Here's 81 of Brad Slaughter now coming on NASCAR turn 4, and not Cameron Hearn saying, threw up and my hand hit the wall.
Ow! Ow!
Oh, wow.
Ow and yuck.
Here he
Here he
comes! And
Yay! He's finally coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Brad Slaughter to the pits. Call
Aaron
him
look-
Wyman
Brad
looking a
Slaughter.
little
Did
bit
you
slow
see-
there also.
the Trito thing. It looks like Trito thinks he's in one of them, like the GTEs, the GTDs. He's sliding
Dude,
that
he's
thing
flying.
through the
Yeah, he's
infield.
on.
I was like, wow. I had the chance to talk to Chris Buescher about this before they went and did this course the first time. We were racing together in the trophy trucks for the Roush Performance Esports guys, and I was like, Chris, how are you guys getting this? Like, in iRacing, I can't stop the car. Is it any different? He's like, nope. It's the same. So these things are heavy, and they need to be woed up a lot earlier than you would normally expect. I'm like, yeah, and just amazed. He's like, nope. Like, he didn't do too bad. If I remember, I think he got a top 10, and that was one of his better races.
First one, yeah. I mean, poor Cameron. How's he going to see that turtle? That's all I'm saying. It was unfair. So Cameron, as I said before you joined us here, had this been Tuesday night, my friend, you might have been getting a Harry Award for Sasquatch. I don't typically give it out on Thursday night because, well, there aren't very many of you, but you might be the first one for a Thursday night award.
First ever.
Yeah,
But
first
you-
ever.
So, Ken, now we see the track map up, and the dots? It's not like Pac-Man; they are spread out.
They are very spread out, and it gets. I thought that at this point Weishart would be a little farther behind because Trito is basically you might as well put a cape on the back of that car because it's flying. But yeah, they're really spread out. Garrett Grant in third. He's been kind of staying that same distance, but to find the fourth place guy, you would need a satellite map to find him. NORAD just spotted the 29 car back in coming into turn number 1.
The one of Nate Trito continues to lead tonight's Beach in 145 here at Daytona, which is presented by Northern Capital. We would like to give a big thanks to Russ and Steve Anderson of Northern Capital for their support of the Northern Capital Truck Series and from all of us here at Araya, in which you guys can tune in Tuesday nights to watch the Northern Capital Truck Series on the Araya Twitch channel. Next week, they'll be going to Darlington for their own little Southern 500 in the Truck Series.
Can't wait for Darlington. Like every night, I'm going to find a way other than Wednesday night, and I'll probably still find a way Wednesday night to watch. But I can't wait till next week. the build up to it. I bought my sweatshirt. I bought my daughter a long sleeve T-shirt. I love the design of that with the Mountain Dew logo style on the front and the awesome stuff on the back. So I got geared up for it. Can't wait to see some of these cars. Somebody might have been calling the race with me Tuesday night, kind of gave us a little insight as to what we might see. So I'm kind of excited about that as well.
Well, you know,
Yep,
we
and
see.
go on.
I was gonna say we see Trito out here out the front, but the number 7 of Scioli yesterday was in the same position, you know, being like the top, the cream of the crop kind of thing, and you know we had some altercations on the racetrack and such, and he did not end up being the winner. So I was saying let's not count
What we're
Weishart
calling it,
out.
Harold, altercations.
Altercations, yes.
Because if you read the driver's chat, it was at least colorful. That's for sure.
You think about that though as a driver, and I've had people talk about different drivers in NASCAR about their tempers and all that. I want a driver that's mad for second.
Oh, no doubt. I mean,
that's what I want. So if you're not mad that you got second,
yeah, I don't mind it at all. As far as I'm concerned, have at it, boys. Somebody posted that yesterday. Have at it. I'm all good with it, but. And I get it. We're all competitive. No matter what we do, we're all competitive.
Yeah, Speaking of competitive, this battle for fourth is competitive to Scott McClendon as he's trying to pass the 12 of Weiland, who goes wide through the kink and into the western horseshoe. McClendon had to check up a bit there.
As we said something about Wineland, because we've always talked about how composed he is. Let's check in on him now.
Yeah, let's look at him. I want to see just how composed he is tonight. He's got a little different face tonight. All right, yeah. Eric's got the lean and the he's everywhere. And man, how many screens is that man looking at? He's talking on top of it. Dude, get a drink in one hand, smoke something. I want to see you just go at it, brother.
Well, Weishart tends to have a vape in his hand when he gets on the oval.
Not now. Yeah. He doesn't have it tonight, I'll guarantee you. He may have it.
No, he did. He did it yesterday. He got up on NASCAR 1 and 2 and took a big drag of it, put it back down through the bus stop. Yeah.
That's a talented young man right there, let me tell you.
Well, so you notice his head is turning to the side as he's going through the corners, giving himself a better idea of when and where to stop and look around. He's going through the NASCAR chicane here, a little air on the right and the left. Staying in front of the 29 is Scott McClendon. And we appreciate Eric Weiland here. You can listen to him Wednesday nights for the Lodgebox series, and he was calling last night's race with Harold, and it was quite a doozy for him. So I believe he took some notes down of what he can and can't do.
Yeah, one would hope. Yeah. But no, he does a great job in the booth as well. So shout out to him. And another shout out to Dom, who joined us joined Harold and I Tuesday night. Hunter, and he did a great job too. It's really fun to have drivers in with us. Gives us a different perspective, allows us to ask some questions, we may not know the answers to, or at least have a feel for. So really enjoyed Dom and hope he comes out again. Wouldn't mind calling a race with Eric one time as well, but those guys are professionals all the way around.
Absolutely. You can hear Dom DeLeo. Well, don't know if it'll be every night, but last Tuesday night, is there you see the McClendon machine pass Eric Weiland for fourth. Dom DeLeo was on for Tuesday night's Northern Capital Trek Series race at Gateway.
Yep.
Well, as I said then, and I'll say it again, we have the Wendigo Studios open invitation to drivers who want to jump into the broadcast booth on a night that they're not racing. Do not take a vacation day and come up into the booth and call your own division. That's not what we want. If you're an ARCA driver and you want to come up on Thursday night, you're more than welcome. If you're a Thursday night guy and you want to come up and talk about ARCA, that'd be great. We'd like to have you out.
Absolutely. And Dom brought perspective to everything. And that's what I liked about it. But I'd love to have other drivers join us. I think it'd be a great time. So, and Harold, I don't know, should we kind of give him a little taste of candy as to what's coming between you and I, or we want to leave that in the closet right now?
Now we're gonna leave that for just a little bit until we make
All right.
sure we're locked away in yeah.
Sounds good. But we're brewing something, folks. We'll just say that. Let's just say that we're brewing something.
That's something that One to Go Studios is working on. As we'll be picking up another league starting in January. It's on Friday nights, the only off night that we have from the RA guys. We'll talk a little bit more about that towards the end of December. As I'm on Blair Patterson, because Blair should be, when he crosses here to complete lap 20, it should be the end of, or the car should be coming out once he gets across, not this time, but next time. So Nate's on his lap 20. At the completion of this lap, with the last car on the lead lap, is when the caution will come out. Supposed to.
Yep, so, yeah, the completion of lap 20 from all drivers on the lead lap will bring out the caution, so we get all drivers on the lead lap. 12 drivers on the track, and they are all on the lead lap. Oh, while we're at it, let's go ahead and knock out our halfway rundown here. Just before our caution, presented by Swift Lifestyles. Fans, be sure to visit our sponsors, Swift Lifestyles, for clean supplements that help improve your focus on gaming and much more. Use discount code AREA iRacing, AREA iRacing, for 15% off your entire order. I'd like to give a big thanks to Swift Lifestyles and their support of the Swift Lifestyle Pro Series. Well, pretty swift so far for Nate Trito. He's led about every lap up until pit stops, but he has been the car to beat. And really nothing much to say other than he's the car to beat. Oh, and speaking of cars, we got a couple on pit road, those including David Weishart and Garrett Grant. Splitting it up.
This is interesting.
Harold, they're splitting it into quarters.
No, this is a smart move.
But no, Weishart just did this under green, so so Trito will come down. And very wise move from him to see if that'll work out.
Yeah.
Now Weiland in the third place position now.
Yep, Eric Weiland in third. He's been in the top 5 for a good portion of the race, and it'll be interesting to see. That just threw me off with Weishart and Grant pitting, so it'll be interesting to see where Weiland ends up on this caution break. And right behind him, the car that just pitted, Garrett Grant in the 5. Should point out him and Weishart are teammates for Samson and Northern Capital sponsored vehicles. Garrett Grant's also worked his way inside the top 5 and doing a little strategy call with his teammate.
91 coming through the back right now. You see Tyler Hallman there in the 52 in 5th place. It's a 91 crosses. This should...
Yep, caution is out.
Caution is out. There you go.
So Christian DeBoer in the 6th spot. And there in that Miller Racing Graphics car. Danny Weir in the 7th position. Brad Slaughter in 81, and he's in 8th. He was actually up in the top 5 at one time. Scott McClendon, I believe, he came down and pitted just a minute ago as well.
Just a moment ago. Yeah,
and Davey Hendricks did the same thing in 10th. So that's our rundown.
So those guys that got in under the green, that's who's going to be sitting up there. If now, that's assuming our leader comes down and pits at this on this.
But
lap,
either way, if he doesn't, he's only got 4 or 5 laps left.
Yeah.
And Weishart has the fuel and the new tires.
Yep. I thought great move. Great move.
We'll see.
Yeah, so should point out the cars that pitted are David Weishart, Garrett Grant, Scott McClendon, and Davey Hendricks. Everybody else has yet to make a second pit stop.
And then the 2 other interesting ones that we mentioned before, Brad Slaughter in the 81's only on 5 laps, and Blair Patterson's only on 5 laps. So both of them can stretch it longer too. So that can hiccup some things too as well.
It very well could, Ken, and that'll just be a third strategy that I'm currently piecing together. The first one being the drivers that just pitted before the competition caution or the halfway caution. Then the second one I'm thinking are the drivers that are going to come down and pit this time.
Yep.
And then, as you pointed out, the third one could be between Brad Slaughter and Blair Patterson, who are on 5 to 6 laps on their tires, so they can go another 8 or so laps before they have to pit again for fuel.
Putting them right at the 30 mark. So, and let's see. So you're saying, so if they pit now, everybody else that didn't pit, if they pit now 14 to 15 laps, that's going to bring them short, isn't it? Short of yeah.
Yeah, would assume so. Everyone's got to make at least one more pit stop.
Yep. Interesting.
And we didn't really get to talk much about it because the competition caution came out about halfway through our rundown. But Tyler Hallman 5th and Christian DeBoer 6th. Really great runs for those guys, especially Tyler Hallman.
Yep.
Just had some, seems like bad luck whenever he's running up front. And then Christian DeBoer, he's just trying to learn as he goes on, and he's really doing a good job here so far. Currently in the 6th spot for that Miller Racing Graphics number 56, which, by the way, is the sponsor for the Throwback Weekend and for the Cup race next Thursday night at Darlington.
Prizes being handed out. I like it. That's the way to do it.
Absolutely, and should point out in the chat below, is our little bot here helping us out. You go to our website and you can purchase some cool merch, some throwback merch or some regular merch. But the throwback ones are the ones that you're really going to have to look out for. AreaIRacing.com/merch. So every purchase of the Southern 500 throwback t-shirt or sweatshirt gets added to the prize pool. So a portion of the sales will go to the prize pool for those competing in said Miller Racing Graphics throwback race. So I believe it's $5 for every t-shirt. And then 15 or 10 for
10 for the
I'll get the official ones. 10 for the sweatshirts. Yep.
Yep. And they're good looking stuff. That's good looking stuff too. So I'm just waiting for mine to arrive in the mail, Jacob Bell. And I hope I see it soon, Jacob Bell. And can't wait to wear it. I'm going to be so. You know what? I might actually turn my camera on next week, Harold, just for that. If they had a hat, it'd be even better.
You're seeing they are designed by none other than Miller Racing Graphics. Some pretty good design there from Mr. Miller himself. So you see, you can click on the link below in the chat.
Yep.
Go ahead and get yourself a nice little sweatshirt or a t-shirt. And this is right before the holiday, so if anyone you know likes this, watching, you can buy them a little Christmas gift. So I gotta say, I purchased one of the original Area or Araya hoodies, and gotta say it's pretty comfortable material. I enjoy wearing it, especially as the weather gets colder and cooler. I also bought a little sticker that I put on the back of my computer or my laptop. I gotta say it's a nice little addition to it.
Okay, I've not done that yet.
So caution's out, the halfway yellow's out. And drivers pitted. Some drivers pitted. A lot pitted, actually. Those that stayed out would be David Weishart, Garrett Grant, and Brad Slaughter. So everyone else decided to come down pit road
even
from
Patterson
Tyler Hallman all back.
down.
Yeah, Blair Patterson came back down. So that strategy went out the window. So Brad Slaughter's on his own strategy, 7 laps on his tires. David Weishart and Garrett Grant are on 2 laps because they pitted just before the halfway caution. And then everybody else, they pitted just recently under our caution. But regardless of how long drivers are out on their tires or when they pit, everybody's going to have to come down one more time for fuel.
Exactly.
And there are no cautions, so this thing will go green to the end. As we saw earlier in the race, Cameron Hearn literally barrel rolled. So he was coming down from NASCAR turn 4, hit the turtles.
Turtle got him. Yeah, it was a giant snapper turtle. So let's give him a little leeway. He didn't, he did hurl.
Yeah, so he had a bit of a tumble there going through the racetrack, and that did not bring out a caution. Only one of the night being this halfway yellow. So green flag the rest of the way. So there are some drivers who could potentially save fuel, although I highly doubt they will, as we saw Brad Slaughter go the furthest at maximum 15 laps, as our fuel window was in between 14 and 15.
Yeah. Yeah, the most you're going to get. I mean, it's sitting at 2-lap stint, lap 23. That gives them 15. It puts them at it's. I mean, they can get close, but they're not going to make it all the way to 40. I don't think. There's nobody that got that much hair. And if anybody's watched, Hunter, I was going to say, if anybody's watched Brad Slaughter run any race for ARIA Racing, he's a strategy kind of guy. Like he'll use it to his advantage. He's done it a couple times in the truck series where it's worked out beautifully, and he'll catch you on a pit lane and he'll beat you off a pit lane, and that's
he just
where
pitted.
Yeah, did he?
Yep, and I like this because he's rolling the dice that he can get to the end from here.
Now he's going to take a shot. Yep, absolutely. Thank you.
Very good drivers who just went back down pit road, maybe getting a splash of fuel to try and stretch it.
But at what cost? That's the thing.
That's a good question.
But this is a points race. It's not a non-points race. It does count against. So those guys that don't have a win yet,
can they hear us? Because that brings it back up to the fact that we just talked about. I just said Brad Slaughter is a strategy guy, and 10 seconds later he's in the pit. So I don't know, Hunter. Maybe they can hear us, or they just think we're the smartest guys on the planet and they're going to follow us. I'm guessing that's not the truth.
I think neither. I think you're just on your A game.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
Something like that, yeah.
I've not been on it yet, so why not?
He's been on the B game.
I've been on a B game. I have been on that. I've been on an F game too, but that was, there was cough syrup involved. I won't go into deep to it. AJ said it was a bold move, so let's see.
The pace lights are out on the pace car, so we will be going green this time by.
Which means there'll be 16 laps. Can they get there? I don't know.
Oh, I think Brad makes it. I honestly, I think Brad makes it. I don't think anybody else does. I think this is him playing it out like he's done it before. I think he stretches it. Can you save on a track like this? Is it possible?
Oh yeah, there's lots of places, but then again, what's the difference that he's going to help make up? Excuse me. So there's like 40 seconds is how long David Weishart was on pit lane. So at about 15 to 20. So say he saves a minute.
Mm-hmm.
What that means, he has to be within a minute of the leaders at, which we've seen it further back than that.
I'm just looking here on our track map here. Brad Slaughter is just now exiting the backstretch
I see him.
bus stop. He had a 55-second pit stop, so I don't know if he had optional repair. It must have been. And he decided to take it now, which is a good thing. But he's going to be at the back part of this pack here as we're going to come back to green.
Yeah, but he's coming in a hurry, so when that flag drops, he's going to be there.
Nah,
he's catching Bell now, right?
Yeah, but he's actually at pace now.
Yeah.
He could have timed it where he's at full speed and just blown by some people. I've seen guys do that.
Well, I didn't time that right, but at least he's caught up.
All right, pace car back on the pit road, and we're going to go green here one more time at the Daytona road course for the Beach in 145.
16 laps to go as the number 3 takes the lead. Now, what's interesting is the number 1 is right behind the 3 car. I thought he'd be further back than that, but no, he just kind of right off the start just went around everybody.
81 has disappeared. He's like a ghost on the track now.
He's back in the pits.
He's on pit road. Yeah.
He went back down pit lane.
Wow.
Not really sure what's going on there.
So strategy is not his key here tonight. So let's
he went and got a splash at 8.1 second stop.
Very interesting. So a splash that would put him at the closest window possible of making it. It's a risky call. He's not going to catch them on his own.
No.
As he's already 20 seconds behind the next car in front of him, which is Jacob Bell. So that puts him at a very interesting spot. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as the run goes on. Meanwhile, as they go through NASCAR Turn 1, David Weishart continuing to lead. Nate Trito second. Garrett Grant third, fourth Tyler Holman, and fifth Scott McClendon.
So the Weishart move didn't get enough distance between him and Trito.
Not as much as I think Weishart would have liked.
Got him about second.
Yeah, and that'll be gobbled up here shortly, probably.
But they all both have to stop again. So
They do.
do we see Weishart come down here at lap 30? Because that would be on schedule from what he's been doing. He's 10, 20.
Right. Very intriguing. Yeah, it's not entirely out the window. I'd probably see him stretch it to like 31 or 32. But it wouldn't surprise me if he comes down pits at lap 30. Him and teammate Garrett Grant.
Garrett Grant, yeah, absolutely.
This is all a strategy from here on out.
And it's going to have to be. I mean, this isn't. They're not knocking one another out by passing.
I wonder if Trito is actually clutching the car to try to go the distance himself.
He's not flying like he was, yeah. That time around, it's 154 versus 155, so.
And this is a big enough racetrack where you can save fuel. It's a 3.6 mile length road course that these guys are running. So there's definitely parts of the track where you can coast the car in and save some fuel.
David has been one of the more vocal guys about fuel strategy wins and his disdain for them. So if Trito beats him by that, he will not be happy.
Well, and again, it goes back to what you were saying. If he cuts it at the 30, if I'm him now, hammer down, get as far as you can, and then use your 30 lap come in at 30 and run the strategy again.
Boy, Blair Patterson must have went off course at some point because he's lost quite a bit of spots. He's down to 11th now.
Yeah, Brad's going to catch him here shortly, so. Rest of the pack not getting stretched out like we've seen most of the race, so that's pretty cool to see. But Blair, something must have happened to him. Going to him, okay.
This is our one to go replay here, just to show what happened to the 91 of Blair Patterson. Here you see, he was right behind the 54 of Davey Hendricks. So this was the battle for 8th at one point.
Whoa!
It was a bit wide, letting the 12 go. So now that would put him down to the 9th spot at this point in the replay. So he works his way out of the international horseshoe.
Coming out.
Yes. He was concerned about that grass growing a little too high there, wanted to trim it down. Fine job.
So he drops outside the top 10, falls to 11th, where he's currently running right now.
And again, he's about to have some company by the 81.
Now we are at a point in the race where anyone that pits now, good on fuel the rest of the way. It just depends on who comes down pit road first and what they get. If they get a full can of fuel, maybe half a can, depends on when they come down and pit.
Well, as right now, they'd have to fill it up. So no half can in it then. So, and just so it used to be that they were in cans, but now iRacing has it where you can actually fill it much more precise.
They're killing the cans. Anybody who's seen the movie The Jerk, they know the reference to that.
Exactly. But no, the original NASCAR Racing 2003, you could put a splash, half a can, 1 can, 1.5 cans, or 2 cans. That was all you could do. And now you can actually tell it, I want 3.2 gallons of fuel, and it'll do that. That's for guys like Eric Wiseland.
I was gonna say that's for guys that can do that and walk and chew gum at the same time.
I have my digital race engineer, so I tell Dre change fuel 3.2 gallons, and he does it for me.
That verbally?
Yep.
Oh, well, you got to teach me how to do that. That sounds like fun.
And Voice Attack and Digital Race Engineer are my buddies. And then when you're doing the 24 hours of Daytona, I almost always have a spotter / crew chief, and I just say, "Hey Andy, make sure I'm filled up at 18 and a half." So
So yeah, but you've got to know what that is. So that leaves me back out again. Okay, that's fine. I'll just start yelling at my crew chief or something.
well, there's things that I still haven't shown you about different things that you can get, different fuel calculators and some other things, and that's what road racing a lot is basically backward planning the race because there are no cautions, so you gotta know when you're going to pit and what you're going to do at that time. It's more
There's a lot
fun when
of
you.
people that are listening thinking, I don't want Cushy out there, leave him in the booth. That's what I think there are people out there doing.
I'll tell you what, maybe we should do a multi-class race and like have ARCA with Legends and have Cushy out in the Legends car, so like he'd be the jam car for us.
I'm not sure that sounds right for me, but
You remember the jam
AJ,
car, right?
AJ, what's a jam car? Because that doesn't sound like I'm gonna need some of that baby oil. Is what it sounds like I'm gonna need. So
You don't remember playing with the slot cars that had the jam car?
I remember playing with a. Never mind.
You don't
We're
remember the
just gonna
slot
leave
cars?
that. I had slot cars, but I don't know
Okay.
what you're talking about. A jam car.
The jam car was basically an AI car that made, because remember we had the ones that could switch lanes.
Yeah.
And the jam car was making it so you had to switch lanes around him. And it was like the computer one. It was actually, it did something, but it was called the jam car.
AJ says we're covered. Both him and I are covered. That's good. That's what I like to hear, my friend. Thank you.
But Weishart, I don't know. I mean, David's got to run his race. And as I say, he's racing the track. Trito's running his race, and David just got to think that he's got the right strategy and just run his race.
Well, and that's the thing. The more you worry about what everybody else is doing, the less you're doing, as you said, the less you're focusing on your own race. But
Hunter got real quiet.
Oh,
doesn't
just
like
letting you
us
two
anymore.
go. Yeah, you two were on a conversation that I had no clue about, so I just.
So, Hunter's like, this is old people stuff again.
AJ got it, so that's all that matters. At least one person listening gets it from us.
Yeah.
Whatever, Hunter.
I was like, we're close
what do you want
to.
us to talk about,
Like,
Hunter?
Hunter's
say,
like,
we're close
slot
to
cars?
that,
What slot cars?
We're close to that window of
Yep.
David Weishart potentially pitting because he pitted on lap 10, pitted just before lap 20, or pitted on lap 20, excuse me, and we're nearing lap number 30, which he could pit in.
I'll say this though, Nate has turned the gas back up. I mean, he's cooking now. He's running laps that are 155.3, so he's definitely turned the wick up on the fire.
I don't think Weishart has a problem using up his tires because he's
No.
going to be coming down soon anyway, and he'll have one more set of stickers to put on. So he's going to go in another
there
lap
now.
around.
Yeah, he's there
Yeah.
now. So
Because like this is lap 30, so he'll come down this time and he'll be on schedule. That's what I'm thinking. But we'll see.
Him and his teammate Garrett Graham, because they're both on the same pit strategy.
yeah, but do you cut? Does
Oh, he
Trito
got a
come
little
with him?
loose
He's
there.
right there. Yeah, he's right
The
there
exit
now.
of turn 1 as they go through turn 2, getting very close here.
Well, what Weishart's doing right now is really good. He wants to keep Trito behind him, make Trito use his stuff up to pass him, because Dave is getting new tires right now, so it doesn't matter. He's going to use up what he's got. He doesn't care.
Coming out of the International Horseshoe,
And
they're side by side
advantage
for
to
the
the three
lead.
at this point. Oh, he's going to back it out, but
He's going to back off.
That was a gimme because I don't. The three could have kept going and made the one have to
This
take
is
the kink of the wide side. But David's not. David just wants to stay as close as he can, so he's not going to lose a lot of not from behind him as he goes down pit lane. Now remember, last time David actually was able with the pit was able to gain on Trito on pit lane, so a short pitting. So we'll see if that works out to his advantage because he's a lot closer than he was then.
Well, his back end's swinging around a lot. I know that.
Yeah, he needs some tires.
Pretty sure he would let him go by anyway, so he'd have a cleaner approach at pitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all new to me, so it's really interesting.
Looking through, no one has yet to come down and make their final pit stop. One that which every driver will have to do. Come through NASCAR turn 4 before they head into the NASCAR chicane. Will the 3 of Weishart make his pit stop now?
Well, he hit those hard, didn't he?
And he will.
Here he
And
comes.
Sure enough does.
Man,
He's gonna come down
it's like
pit road
it's
and-
like I am talking to their crew chief.
It's like we're psychotic. I mean, psychic.
So you
And
know,
his
so
teammate Garrett Grant comes on the pit road also. So those two will be good to go the rest of the way on tires and fuel, taking their last set of stickers.
yeah. So the Samson
also,
guys.
the 52 Tyler Holman's on pit road now.
I'm watching the 81 right now. I just want to see if he passes them before they come out. And it doesn't look like he will at this pace. But I find it interesting.
No, the 3's already out, and 81 is just now passing the straight.
Coming the straight line, the start-finish line.
Yeah. So Weishart was able to
gain
get.
over the 52 of Hallman. And he's right on the 5, so that's interesting.
And the 5's just going to march away from him now, though.
Sure he will. Sure he will.
So Trito with a 7-second lead, but he still has to pit one more time as we're now working 10 to go here.
Yep, we are inside of 10 to go here. That portion of the race is presented by SimSpeedShop. We would like to give a big thanks to SimSpeedShop for their support of the SimSpeedShop Cup Series this season in Orion. Racers, you can visit our website at www.simspeedshop.com to find multiple items to complete your virtual racing setup, such as button boxes, wheels, racing gear, and much more. That's www.simspeedshop.com. We're inside 10 to go for the Beach in 145, the Daytona road course here in Daytona Beach, Florida. Going to be one of 2 road courses that the SimSpeedShop Cup Series will go to, the next of which, not for quite some time, will be at Watkins Glen. So this is a little bit of a test race here for some of these guys as Trito comes on the pit road. Nate Trito's basically been the class of the field here, the road course ringer, if you will, the second fiddle being the 3 of David Weishart. So there you see Scott McClendon taking the lead in the number 29.
Weishart is now in the chicane
Oh.
here. He's in NASCAR chicane right now.
So
McClendon's in a position where he could try and stretch it
I
the
was
rest of
about
the way,
to
but I
ask that
don't see that
question.
happening.
that would mean he'd have to go 16 laps on that fuel cell. AJ, you're right. Brad's rest in peace at this point because he just pitted and he's still pitting. And so
Nate Trito. David Weishart jumps in front of Trito about 3 seconds.
Jacob Bell has also come down pit road for his final pit stop.
So now the laps are winding down, and does David Weishart have enough gap?
that's interesting.
McClendon leading the way right at the moment, though, 5 seconds ahead of
I'd say-
Hendricks.
The gap means nothing until McClendon comes to the pit. It means nothing. And if he's hairy enough to do it, man, that's a ballsy move.
Gap from McClendon to Hendricks is about 5 seconds, and the gap between Weishart and Trito, literally 3 seconds separating those two.
Yeah.
Something we'll both keep our eyes on.
Slaughter
I'd like
back
to see
in the
someone
pit.
try it. Yeah, Slaughter's been in the pit for the last.
He must
lap
have
at
some
least.
big damage.
He must have found.
He's
a
got some
turtle.
damage that left front.
He found the same turtle Cameron found.
So there he is on the pit lane, and it would have been a stretch for him to go all the way and have a shot at the end anyway. That's how late he pitted, and then pitting as soon as the green flag came out for a splash.
Getting our drone to work here.
I'm gonna find.
Gotta assume he came down again because of how much fuel he burned catching up to the field.
Weishart, fastest lap of the race.
Really?
He might have the fastest lap, but that gap between him and Trito just closed the second, so it's down to 2 seconds separating Nate Trito and David Weishart.
Yeah.
And about another 2 seconds between Trito and Garrett Grant.
Danny Ware is between the two of them right now, though.
Right. But I don't see where that's going to be an issue. Again, I think, I mean, if I'm Scott McClendon, where am I? You're in 16th in the points. You know, are you making 12 while you look at who's in front of him? I don't know. It's just.
Trito got around there, so.
Well, you mentioned he was 16th in the points, so, and he really hasn't had a good enough car to where he can drive in the top 5 and contend with guys like Weishart, Trito, and Garrett Grant. So he's basically taken a shot here, and especially you mentioned he's 16th in points.
Yeah.
And he really hasn't had a fast car tonight. So why not take the shot, try and stretch it on field, and who knows, and maybe you'll find yourself in victory lane.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
I mean,
5 seconds slower than Weishart right now. So in a couple laps, they're going to be on him.
Yeah, but in a 9-mile track, I mean, you know, I think the only one he has to worry about is the 54 and the 12. I'll say this: I wouldn't be shocked if Wineland doesn't take a shot and try to run at it too, because what does he have to lose? Nothing. He's got 2 wins on the season. It isn't going to harm him at
Hendricks
all.
down pit lane.
Yep. So he's not going to do it. So it brings Wineland back in. Is he going to be willing to run it all the way to the end? Same strategy.
Yep. Nate
I think it
Trito
would
the
be
fastest.
the other way around. If you're guys like Eric Wineland and Davey Hendricks who just pitted, you really don't have anything to lose, but you don't have anything to gain. Scott McClendon has everything to lose, but also everything to gain by doing this strategy.
No, I hear you, but you got bragging. I mean, you'd be the first 3-time winner, first of all, if you're Eric Wineland. You may not gain much as far
But
as...
it locks somebody else out.
It locks somebody else out. I mean, if it's me, I'm going to lock as many people out as I can. I'm going to take a shot at it, because it's not going to hurt him if he doesn't make it. He's going to see he's not going to make it. But I don't know. That's just me, Hunter. I think I'm selfish. I would be out there trying to take every.
McClendon is
win.
trying to get himself inside the top 12, and this is a great points race for him.
If he does it, then yeah.
Even if he needs a splash and go at this point, look at that gap all the way. Where's he get around by where in the top 6?
Oh yeah, he's definitely not going to go farther than 4th or 5th.
Yeah, still a great points race. But we'll see as they go.
Between Weishart and Trito is now closed down to about just over a second between the two. They are 3rd and 4th on the track right now, but got to assume that if McClendon and Wineland pit, it would be the battle for the win. McClendon still on track, so we're approaching 6 laps to go here when they cross the stripe.
This group back here being led by Eric Wineland, Weishart and Trito right behind him. Is there the NASCAR chicane to 3 trying to make easy work of the 12? He was there, had to back out a little bit. And Trito
And here
right
comes the
him.
one of Trito. Trito all over the bumper of David Weishart. This is for the 3rd spot at the moment, but it could turn into the pass for the win, potentially.
Yeah, he caught the 12 in the worst spot of that chicane, and he had to pull it back, and he lost the whole second to Trito because of it. So,
and Weishart is just spinning the back end of that, trying to stay in front.
There they go in the back, side by side, heading into the International Horseshoe. Weishart taking the lower approach, and then the one of Trito trying to diamond it up, get a little bit of a run here as they're side by side once again. They're heading up on the kink. Right in front of them, though, is the 12 of Wineland. Creates a bit of a challenge.
There, right? I mean, he's got to feel him.
that's for position, though, so Wineland's not going to get out of the way.
No. Mm-mm.
Like, y'all want this? Come get it.
They're going through the Western Horseshoe. Now they're going to head into the exit of the infield. And here comes Wineland with a dive in the middle. Trying to get underneath the 12. There's contact. The 12 of Wineland spins.
Wow.
He spins out.
Weishart.
And the 3 of Wineland loses the spot.
Yeah, Weishart was on the inside there.
Ah.
Man, there's gonna be some tempers flaring over that one.
Here comes the chatter. Yes,
Contact after a dive bomb from the number 3 of Weishart trying to get by the 12. Contact was made. The 3 went wide. The 12 went spinning. And then the number 1 of Trito just scooted by like nothing happened. Now all Nate Trito's got to do is pass Scott McClendon, and he could clinch the Beach in 1:45 here at Daytona.
He's got 5 laps to do it, and he's, 4.5 seconds behind, but he's running 5 seconds faster than McClendon. So it ain't going to be long, boys and girls. He can see him right now. But again, Harold, as you said, this is a great points race. No matter what happens to McClendon, even if he has to come in and gas, and Trito catches him, who cares? I mean, you're still having a good night.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're inside 5 laps now.
There's no way he's holding off the 1. It's just there's clearly the 1 is coming like a rocket. And he can't afford to if he's trying to run it all the way through to the end. He can't afford to speed up.
David Weishart was looking to try to pass Wineland and basically set a pick with Wineland with the number 1 coming out of the infield there. And I'm sure Weishart was already upset about the way he caught the 12 in the chicane, which caused Trito to come right up out of that 1.5 second lead that he had.
You're right, AJ. We might as well just get a popcorn truck because there's plenty of excitement. Absolutely.
Popcorn truck, he meant popcorn stock. A stock in popcorn.
No doubt. Good.
Make all the money, and then you can sell it and buy more popcorn.
There you go.
With 5 laps to go now, with McClendon, your leader, 3 seconds ahead of the number 1. You see if he's made the strategy that will stick, and does he have anything for the leader when the leader gets up to him? Because it's always been said that you can get there, but can you make the pass?
Oh, he can make the pass. I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about
a whole nother ballpark.
Yeah, I hear you, but I don't foresee that being a problem for Nate right now. My question is, can McClendon at least gas it enough to keep himself in front?
Across the stripe, 4 laps to go. I noticed there, McClendon was keeping it at over 3 seconds, but the part where Trito catched him the most was that backstretch chicane.
Yep.
So what really hurt the 29 of McClendon. There's a gap now at 2 seconds, going to be below 2 seconds at some point.
He does very well through here, McClendon does.
Weishart looked like he went a bit wide there. They exit the International Horseshoe, then they approach the kink here. Tricky corner. We're seeing David Weishart clip the grass there quite a bit. And hard on the brakes here into the Western Horseshoe. Gap closing ever so slightly. Now about 1.5 seconds separating McClendon and Nate Trito. Bit of a wide exit there for the 29 of McClendon. That's just going to allow the 1 of Trito to eat up that ground.
Yeah, all the credit to him though. He's doing what he's got to do.
You know, at the first part of that, he was doing pretty good, and then Trito caught back, but he was gapping him a little bit off the bus stop.
Yeah. But right here, this is where Trito catches him the most.
Yep. Look at that coming in there. Holy smokes.
Gap was 1.3 heading in, and it is now 0.7 climbing up to 0.8. It's literally half a second every time that Trito catches McClendon through that part of the track.
McClendon seems to be faster on the big parts of the track where he can just get out there and go down the backstretch into the curves. He's great, but yeah, through the places where Trito can just dive in, he's eating him up. There you see it again. He a big chunk that time.
Yeah,
less than half a second between the two. It's now 3 laps to go here at the Daytona Road Course for the SimSpeedShop Cup Series. Scott McClendon trying to hold on, getting his first career win in the Araya League and in the SimSpeedShop Cup Series. But Nate Trito also trying to do the same with the better tires, better fuel strategy. So head into International Horseshoe.
The blood is in the water. Blood and the shark is on the carcass. That's it right there, that little wiggle. I don't know what else he can do to hold him off.
It's just
Throw a
mirror
block.
grabbing at this point. Now the one's going to pressure McClendon into overdriving one of these corners, potentially the Western Horseshoe as he goes up high. Trito trying to diamond it down to get a run on the bottom. Trying to get on the quarter panel. Looks like he's got the edge on him. But McClendon has the better approach as they head out of turn number 6 and heading into NASCAR turn 1. But here comes Trito on the bottom. Yeah. This is the pass for the win, and it's going to go to Nate Trito in the 1.
Yeah, the 29 slid off that corner coming off of the infield.
Yeah, there wasn't much more he's going to do after that.
Scott McClendon did all he could do to keep the 1 behind him. It looks like he's going to try. No, he's not going to even try. It looked like he was going to make a abrasive move to the inside.
Well, we got to see how much fuel McClendon still has. I mean, he's on 14 laps right now.
Here he comes. He's coming back. The 1 had a bit of a wobbly exit there from the backstretch chicane. And McClendon looking to the outside now. Side by side for the lead. McClendon not going down without a fight.
There's absolutely no way. He comes around him, gets in the front side. Let's see what he does. He's going to
contact is made.
Yep.
The 29 of Scott McClendon has 14-lap-old tires, and he's trying to make it on fuel also while trying to get his first career win. 2 laps to go at Daytona.
Unbelievable.
Not really sure. I really don't know how that happened. It looked like he was done for. Now comes the 1 back to the bumper of McClendon.
He's
pushing him wide through turn 1. They head into turn 2.
He's not giving up. He's not giving up at all, Hunter. He's not going to give that up at all. He said, to heck with it. I'm going to fight you until I'm done.
Trito trying on the outside, McClendon on the inside as they head through the International Horseshoe. They're going to be side by side here, heading up to the kink. Trito looking like he'll clear the 29. So they head through the kink and now to the Western Horseshoe. Here comes McClendon looking like he's going to make a move to the bottom on the inside. Woo! They tried it.
They both go to the grass.
The 29 is off course. They're both off the track as they're trying to win the race.
David Weishart is grinning from ear to ear.
Oh boy! David Weishart and Gary Grant are catching these two as they're literally fighting off the track, trying to get their first win. Both of these guys. Trito's got the spot for the moment, but who knows what could happen in these next 1.5 laps now.
McClendon has forced him to have to drive harder than anyone has tonight, and that's what's getting him. And he's making mistakes he hasn't made the whole night. So let's see if McClendon can push him one more time through some of these stops. Go hot into this. Heck with it.
Down the bus stop they go on the backstretch. Clean for the 1. The 29, not so much. Lost about half a second there. Gap is well over a second now. Yeah.
You've said it time and time again. He is killer through that last little bit. Coming in the chain, he won't let up here either.
I just don't know if the 29 McClendon has anything left. It's got to be a mistake from the 1 of Trito, and he's looking damn near perfect as he comes across the tri-oval. One more lap here at the Daytona Road Course presented by One to Go Studios.
Weishart, and guess what? McClendon having to pit.
Yep. We had to figure, listen, again, it's still going to be a heck of a race for that kid. Get some gas, get back out there, and roll back on down pit road. But great job by McClendon just to force the 1 to have to fight hard. And that brought Weishart and Garrett Grant closer, but not close enough to really do anything in the end.
Well, now the 1 of Nate Trito has no one near him, in front of him or behind him, so he can take this next lap as slow as he wants. Just not slow enough to where Weishart can catch him. But the gap is about less than 3 seconds.
Weishart's thinking.
Right now,
Weishart's on. Yeah, between him and Wineland, he's like, man, if I could have that back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt. But again, his back end was swinging around too, Harold. I don't know that Weishart could have had anything. He certainly wasn't gonna. He certainly wasn't gonna fight the way we just saw Scott McClendon do. Still a good night for Scott McClendon, coming out in 6th. It was great to watch him do that. That was fantastic.
down the backstretch chicane for the final time. Nate Trito, a dominant performance that was almost thwarted by the 29 of Scott McClendon. Gave him a bit of a scare, definitely. So Nate Trito only raced 2 times this season in the SimSpeedShop Cup Series. Got 7th at Las Vegas. Qualified 2nd at Dover. Didn't get a good finish in the 17th spot. Here he is coming off NASCAR turn 4 and through the NASCAR chicane for the final time after a dominating performance. It would either be between him or David Weishart. And coming down the tri-oval for the final time, Nate Trito's going to do it. He wins at the Daytona Road Course.
What a race, what a finish, way to push it at the end. A surprise element that we didn't think in the 29 car. Just an all-around fun race.
Nate Trito gets the job done here at the Daytona Road Course, finishing 2nd, David Weishart, 3rd, Garrett Grant, 4th, Davey Hendricks, 5th, Eric Weiland. But there you see the 6th place driver, Scott McClendon. He gave it his all.
So Trito, Weishart, and Grant, the top 3.
Nate Trito's just going to stop on the track right there. On the bottom right, you can see the rest of the field finishing. Nate Trito definitely led the most laps at 23 out of the 40 that we completed.
He's probably trying to breathe right now after those last 3 laps.
I can't imagine what's going through his mind. Him or McClendon, those last couple of laps. I mean, both of those drivers, they went off track at one point trying to get their first win, and they almost costed themselves both.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking was about to happen. Was those two were going to just take each other out? But
I don't think Trito has any more gas.
That's probably true. Well, how could he run out that from being pushed? I got you. Well, he gave everything he had the minute he came back out on the track to get up there. So,
or no, actually, he only had 8 laps. So no, he just might have just parked
he shouldn't
it.
run out of gas. It's a good spot to put it.
Trying to find our race leader and have not. Keep an eye on him.
He's rolling again.
Yep. So let's talk to our other guys. I guess we could talk to Mr. Grant. Gonna put these guys.
We'll get our 3rd place finisher up here. Just a bit. Oh, almost grabbed the wrong one. Alrighty, here's our 3rd place finisher, Garrett Grant. Garrett, it's Hunter, Harold, and Ken in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
You and Weishart definitely had some fast cars. You were both on the same strategy. It almost worked out at the very end. Take us through those last few laps whenever you saw the Trito machine and the McClendon machine going at it.
Yeah, I got a little excited there. My spotter Dwayne was telling me they were trying to crash each other, and I was like, "Oh boy, this might get interesting." And I seen them both go off the track there, and I was like, "Oh man," I was getting real excited there. I thought I was gonna have a shot at it, but somehow they gathered it back up and still pulled away from us. But that was kind of intense. But just happy to come out of here with the top 3. That's for sure.
Well, they drove the 0 turns down into the grass. Exactly. It looked like they were going to do a little mowing while you and David caught up. But a good race for you again. Road course, first road course of the season. How did you feel all night? Everything worked the way you wanted it to?
Yeah, car felt good. Just didn't quite have the pace that Cameron and David and Trito had there. But I mean, I just taking it smooth and easy. I knew I probably didn't have a car to win the race, so I just didn't want to screw up top 5 finish. So I would just take it smooth and easy there. I started pushing it a little hard there at the end, and wheel hopped it a couple times, and I just decided to calm it back down and take my 3rd place and go home. But yeah, the car was driving good all night. Just didn't have the outright speed those guys had. That's for sure.
All right, Garrett. Well, we'll let you go here and celebrate your 3rd place finish. Any shout outs you want to give out before you go?
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Russ Anderson, Northern Capital. Got him a 2-3 finish tonight. Good points night for Samson Motorsports. And thanks to SimSpeedShop and you guys for broadcasting, and Jacob for putting all this on for us.
Well, we thank you for being a part of it and putting out a good show for us. Have a good night, Garrett.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, that was third place finisher Garrett Grant. Now this is going to be an interesting one. Bringing up second place finisher David Weishart. David, it's Hunter, Harold, and Ken in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, it's going to be a tough one for me. So towards the very end, it was going to be between you and Nate Trito. Then you guys caught up with the slower car of Eric Wineland going through the NASCAR chicane, and he really didn't let you go by. Then we saw you trying to make a move there on the exit of turn 6, and it didn't work out. So just kind of take us through your thoughts there on what was going through your mind at that point.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations. First off, congratulations to Nate on the win. I didn't have anything for him there on the long run there, so he earned it, deserves it. But yeah, I actually caught Eric through the front stretch chicane, and after I pitted, I just felt like every time I was catching somebody, it was in either the back stretch bus stop or the front stretch chicane. It was just somewhere where it's not a passing zone, or I was too far back and I caught him in the middle of the chicane. And so I was just kind of riding there, and I was just kind of blowing the back tires off it, trying to make all the speed I can. And I knew I had to get around him. I had Nate right there on my rear bumper, and my best shot at holding him off was getting around Eric there. And I sent it in a little hard, and we made a little bit of contact there. That's a tough corner to make a pass, but like I said, it's, we're like 5 laps to go. I just, I have to try there.
It's funny, David, you mentioned the back end, and that was the one thing I kept watching as you kept going lap after lap. The back end did seem to go away a lot quicker, where you'd go into some of these turns and it just start to squirrel on you. Was that all night long, it seemed like, and there was just no way to kind of just put them all four going at the same time and gaining on Trito? I mean, Trito had a bullet, there's no doubt, but do you feel it was just going away a little too quick for you?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to save tires early in a run. I was trying not to spin them too bad off the corners, and then I would see Nate starting to gain some time and try to push it just a little bit extra, and then I'd go like a lap where I would just spin the rear tires out, and that would just ruin them for the rest of the run. So yeah, that's on my end. That's driver error. So I'll take it on the.
Still a good podium night for you. So great job out there. Enjoyed watching you drive tonight.
Thanks, man.
Any shouts you want to give out before you go?
Oh yeah, just want to thank SimSpeedShop for sponsoring the Cup Series here at area. Thank Russ Anderson and Northern Capital for sponsoring us here at Samson Motorsports, and my teammates at Samson. We put in some practice this week, and a couple of us come out with a podium, so that's good stuff there. And thank y'all for broadcasting as always, and the admins for what they do. I know last night was a rough one, but they sure made up for it tonight. Tonight was pretty seamless, so. Gotta thank them for that, and thank Jacob Bell for all he does, and yeah, thanks everybody for watching.
All right, well, thank you, David, for putting on one hell of a show out there. Have a good night.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yep.
That was second place finisher David Weishart. Now let's go ahead and bring up our race winner here, Nate Trito. This is Hunter, Harold, and Ken in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Wow, you were definitely the car to beat. Had a little bit of a scare there with Weishart and Eric Wineland. You drove through that, and then you caught McClendon, and as soon as you passed him, I was like, oh, well, there you go. That's a pass for the win. It's over. No, McClendon came back and gave you a run for your money, and you both went off the track at one point. Take us through those last few laps.
Yeah, I was I got off to the last run on the wrong start just because I thought I could make it on fuel, so I was saving fuel. I wish I wouldn't have done that, and it would have been a lot more simple from the start. But I mean, I don't know. I had a good time. I was just trying to ride and save my tires, and then those guys came down and pitted. And David came out 3 seconds ahead of me when I pitted the next lap, and I thought he had a pretty good pit stop and a good out lap and stuff like that to gain that big of a gap. But he made just enough small mistakes to where I could kind of chip away at it. And then there at the end, it was pretty sketch, especially when they wrecked right in front of me. I was asking the guys watching, I was like, how much damage do I got? Not a lot. Okay, keep digging. We'll be okay. And then racing Scott, I was just, once again, just trying to have some fun, messing around with him a little bit. And definitely didn't want to make it as interesting as it was, but I still had a fun time, a good race regardless. I think it was a great race, I think.
Well, you certainly had a bullet. There's no doubt about that. You were flying pretty much the whole night. We just talked to Dave Weishart and said his back end, man, once he squirreled it once or twice, that was it for the lap. So there was no way that he was going to kind of hold you off. I was going to ask you when you and Scott traded in for the zero turn mowers for that brief moment. But just a great job overall, Nate. You were pretty clean throughout. You stayed off the turtles. Was tire wear anything of an issue for you? It seemed like it wasn't, but it just, when you went into the chicane or when you went into the bus stop, man, you made a lot of time up on everybody if you were behind them.
If I did it right, I gained time, but obviously I made just as many mistakes as everybody else did. I had my fair share of mistakes early. That's when Cameron got around me or got next to me early,
Yep.
and then late in the race I made the same mistake. Just kind of clipping those turtles in the chicane is just so it just kills time because you just lifting the whole car off the ground. You really can't hit the gas just because there's no tire connected to the racetrack. And as far as tire wear, not necessarily. Tire heat, absolutely. You slide them, and then they get hotter and hotter and hotter. And you just gotta kind of back yourself down from there. So really, it was just kind of pacing myself early, and I thought I did pretty well at it. Obviously, pulled a pretty big gap there for after that first run on lap 20. So I don't know. It like I said before, it was a fun race, fun battling with these guys. This is a really fun racetrack. And it was really fun, really good to pick up the win.
Well, congrats on your first win, and certainly for giving us a great race to watch. Thanks for the excitement, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate all the guys that put on this series, and like I said, it's a great time. Great to come out here and run. Sucks that we didn't have a whole bunch of cars tonight, but I mean, it's road racing. I guess you can't really expect them much different. Hopefully, we get a more full field for the oval stuff. But appreciate those guys, and thank you all for the broadcast.
I was going to say, any shouts you want to give out before you go? You got no sponsors on the car.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just out here to have a good time, man. I haven't been league racing in a while. I've been going competitively, trying to run for Road to Pro and go for the Pro Series and stuff like that. And that's not a lot of fun, and you dedicate a whole bunch of time that is not really available for me to do that. So I just said, I'm going to go have fun in a league race, and that's what I did.
Cool.
Exactly what you did. You had fun. You won. Great dominating performance here. We'll let you go, Nate. Have a good night.
Yeah, appreciate you.
All right, that was Nate Trito, your race winner tonight for the Beach in 145 as we cap off race number 7 of our 12-race regular season. Let's take a look at our race recap presented by Elwood Designs. So Nate Trito getting the win, leading 23 of the 40 laps, had one caution. That was for the halfway break. Only 14 drivers in the field. I believe 11 finished. And Nate Trito, go figure, had the fastest lap with a 1:53.767. Let's go ahead real quick and take a look at your race results. So Nate Trito getting the job done. Second place coming David Weishart. Third place teammate Garrett Grant. Fourth is Davey Hendricks. And then fifth is Eric Weinland.
Scott McClendon comes out of the pits in the end there at 6th. Christian DeBoer on good run at 7th. Tyler Hallman in 8th. Jacob Bell in 9th. And then Blair Patterson in the 91 in 10th.
And then rounding out your field, you'll find 18 of Danny Ware in 11th, Brad Slaughter 12th, Cameron Hearn 13th, and Garrett Heath 14th. Man, oh man. Guys, any final thoughts? Harold, I know you were here last night. It was definitely not as hectic as it was Wednesday night, but still had some drama there at the very end.
Well, a lot of good racing, and that just tells you the how the competition is stacked here. That they're pretty well even amongst each other. That they're all able to come together at the end, even after all that racing. We had 4 cars in the same area. Scott McClendon, he did a real good job of holding that car together and almost made himself a top 3 just on a fuel strategy. So it could be done. He just was like 1 lap too short for that. But definitely an awesome race to see here at Daytona International Speedway, the world center of racing. And going out to South Carolina, to Darlington. And I believe we're going to be under the lights, which I actually was at the first night race for the NASCAR series way back when they did that for the first Mother's Day weekend. So that's a track that's near and dear to my heart. for being a fan and love that track. And the idea of the throwbacks just gives it that extra special flair. And we'll be starting that Monday night.
Yeah.
Yep. Ken, any final thoughts?
That'll be fun. I look forward to Darlington as well. I learned a lot tonight, first road course, so I enjoyed that. Got a better finish than I thought. I swore the bullet was going to stay out and knowing it was going to catch it. So shout out to a couple of those guys. AJ, thanks so much for chatting throughout the race. And it was just a good time, Hunter. I enjoyed tonight. Glad we got to call it together and look forward to next week.
Yep, next week being the Miller Racing Graphics Throwback Week, and it starts Monday night here on the Araya Twitch channel with the Swift Lifestyle Pro Series. Going to Darlington for 100 laps, and then we head over Tuesday night to the Northern Capital Truck Series. Then Wednesday night, Lodge Box Series, and then Thursday night, a week from tonight, we'll have the SimSpeedShop Cup Series live at Darlington. 200 laps for the Miller Racing Graphics Southern 500, in which every race we will be giving out cash prize to the winner and the best throwback scheme. So drivers, be on the lookout. Make sure you got your best work coming out, because you could win some money, and it's all decided by you, the fans who are watching. So stay tuned in on the Araya social media pages on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Keep an eye on all those, because we'll be showing some of the throwback schemes that you fans will be voting on, which is the best for each series. And with that being said, from all of us up here in the booth, executive producer Harold Darner, second-hand man Ken Kushwa, I'm leading announcer Aaron Sleppy, saying so long, and we'll see you for Throwback Week Monday night.
What an exciting race, brought to you by Wendigo Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Thank you to all our sponsors, drivers, and viewers. We'll see you at the next turn.